Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4 with Kaiserreich. Okay. And we just got excavation level 1. That is nice. Okay, so we're still... Okay, we're in January 37, so we just now crossed over. Yeah, we want that. As we speed towards I know not what, though things don't necessarily look good. Okay, we've got eastern provinces, which will help. Ban French organizations. Democracy in Prussia. Christian Trade Union. Do want that research slot right there. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, the anarcho-syndicalists achieve Italian majority. The 5th Congress of the Greater Italian Union, known to the rest of the world as the Socialist Republic of Italy, has finally come to a close after a long stalemate forced a compromise between the social reformists and the anarcho-syndicalists. Palmario Togforgetti. Hey, at least I'm getting to mispronounce other countries' names. Of the anarcho-syndicalist party of Italy will maintain his position as chairman, though the difficult Congress still remains a blow to the government stability as a whole. Left-wing lunatics aren't all agreed on their left-wing lunacy, I see. Okay, well. When you get idealists and ideologues and utopianists particularly, you normally don't get agreement. We no longer get the effects of the Brest-Litovsk reparations, which probably did help us, but we have been so far in the hole in our production ability for so long now. Okay, the Sturmpanzerwagen M2 Osterlot. Panzer 2. We have developed. Well, let's come over here. Let's do that. That will help our construction speed and other things. And we now have interwar artillery, and we can come over here and do machine tools. Oh, it looks like the Russian Empire is pushing from the north. Queen declared war on Shangqing Tingu. All this. Is it a communist state, or is it something in system application? Action. National Populace. Okay. Don't know. Okay. Republic declared in Serbia. Okay. Since the end of the Austrian occupation during the 1920s, Serbia has officially been a kingdom that never dared to crown a king, as they were forced to keep low profile in the light of further Austrian aggression, bowing to mounting internal pressures against the repressive regime. Petar Bojovic, regent of Serbia for almost 2 decades, has voluntarily stepped down. Another unpronounceable person of Serbian background is now the first president of the Serbian Republic, acting as such until elections can be held. Okay. The Austrians should have kept better control of their territory. And how is the war going in the U.S.? Well, the United States doesn't look like it's doing too well. What is this new? Next Thursday. Okay. Okay. Elections of 1937. Today, the German people will elect their representative to the Reichstag. The elections have been, excuse me, tightly fought and are awaited with much anticipation. The fate of several parties, of course, the Kaiserreich itself, could be decided today. If the Social Democrats manage to secure enough votes, the realist wing of the Social Liberal FVP, led by a woman no less, will form a coalition with them. Another possibility. Okay, we're not going to change. From various advices, though I like the idea of new coalition, we're going to keep with authoritarian Democrats. Looking at all of this before, power. No, we're going to keep fun popping, I think. I've looked at some of these other people. Social Democrat, and I have been advised, Heinrich Brüning, that going with mixed parties is bad in Kaiserreich, so we're going to stay with von Papen at this point. Von Papen, the great survivor. Chancellor of Germany. Vice Chancellor of Germany under Hitler, meant to control Hitler. When that didn't work out, he was appointed as ambassador or special envoy to Austria, because von Papen was a well-known strong supporter of Catholicism. Being a German, sent down to Austria with the basic mission of getting Austria in the German Reich. And then, of course, once that was achieved very successfully, and he did that very well, he was then sent off to, presume, Ankara here, the capital of Turkey, though I always think of it as Constantinople, but sent off there to represent Germany, and basically survived out the war with that. Okay, with increased political power, we are now finally stable once more. Okay, good. So we've gained a lot more factory output. We're actually in a positive there. Abyssinian declared war on Eritrea, but Italy didn't control Eritrea. Okay. Eritrea revolts. Ethiopia's only gain in the Weltkrieg, the prized colonial possession of Eritrea, is now applicable. Okay, well, so I guess they took it away from Italy. Okay, experimental research. Yeah, this. Okay, and we are going to do extra research slot. I know there's other important things to be researched, but I'm sort of kind of waiting for that to get a little better. Report from the Middle East. Our Secret Service reported that Egypt, together with other states in the Middle East, are planning to dismantle the Ottoman Empire in the future. Such drastic steps are a direct threat to stability of the entire Middle East. Arrangement which was set up by Peace with Honor signed in 1921. What shall we do? Very interesting. Give me a choice of what to do, but instead of the Sykes-Picot agreement, Erich von Ludendorff dies. Even after his death was reported earlier this morning, Erich von Ludendorff remains one of the most controversial persons in recent German history. On the one hand, he is the hero of the Weltkrieg, the orchestrator of the German victory in 1919. On the other hand, most of the Germans haven't forgotten excuse me, his military dictatorship that only ended with Admiral von Tirpitz forced him to retire after the infamous Osthilfe scandal. 1922. Although Ludendorff still received some honors for his service, excuse me, his knighthood, the former quartermaster general most loyally led a secluded life at his eastern estates afterwards. To give you some parallels in real history, he definitely was what they say about him of sort of doing the Ludendorff offensive or whatever to attempt to push the Allies back, which failed, of course, in World War I. After the war, he gets together with a bunch of right-wing factions and groups in Bavaria, including one of them, a fairly unknown party of the National Socialists under that little Hitler person. And there's a coup staged at that event. Now, various reports as to whether Hitler kidnapped and forced Ludendorff to be part of it, or that was sort of post. Basically, and that Hitler stormed into the meeting room and held everybody as hostages. Not that he spirited them away to some secret location. And Hitler staged the putsch in Munich. Well, the putsch didn't work within 24 hours. Excuse me. It had collapsed. And lots of people went to jail and things, and Goering was wounded, went into exile in Sweden, and whatever else. So Ludendorff was, if you will, a bit of an ally of the National Socialists at the time. Afterwards, he goes on to create an extreme right-wing organization that definitely had anti-Jewishness as policy. I don't think it was so National Socialistic in viewpoint, in the economic sense, but it was as far right, if not farther right, than anything that the Nazis put out, including a Ludendorff magazine. It was, I think, a weekly or a monthly publication, I forget which. So he continued until right about this time is when he dies. I guess they just went with the historical date. Continued publishing it, and so he was continued to be in far-right politics. And because of his fame and position, once the Nazis got in power in 1936, they never shut down his magazine, although his party was, I don't really think, ever winning any seats even in the local Bavarian parliament. It was more of a movement, a group, had, I think, significant numbers, but nowhere like like to win a majority or whatever of a seat, even in a city council. Just, you get 5% or something of the people spread throughout Bavaria in a thin margin, if you will, and who would maybe, shall we say, tactically vote in major elections for the Nazis because you want to win. You know, you don't necessarily get any seats like that, but still a large number. But it continued to dwindle very much so after the success of the Nazis, because they were being successful. So that's sort of what really happened with Ludendorff. He was a right-wing extremist, in many ways more right than Hitler. Haiti declared war on the Dominican Republic. Oh, and Hitler was, people often know he's as right-wing as Hitler. Hitler is not the most right-wing person. He is a socialist, okay, people? Hitler's a socialist. He's a national socialist. He's the person who put National Socialism into the German Workers' Party, and he found a home in the German Workers' Party. That doesn't sound like a very right-wing organization, compared to like the nationalists in Germany, or, other sort of right-wing elements. Okay, the John McLean explodes. Is that a reference from Die Hard? The John McLean, named after the first president of the Union of Britain, was the largest airship ever built. She was constructed in 1935 as a propaganda tool intended to show to the world the achievement of the Union of Britain. In 1936, she made her maiden voyage, and soon after started making regular traffic to Paris. You need a airship to go from London to Paris? Today, she was about to dock at Paris airfield. She burst into flames and crashed to the ground. 35 people out of the 97 plus one on the ground who died. Okay, well, again, I know that this is, taking off of the Hindenburg and all of that, including the picture. And that's cool, but really an airship between those two, they just fly between the two in 1937. Britain, what was it, the R-36 and the R-35 or something like that, or RZ, or I forget, did develop two airships, one of them which did crash and burst into flames. Was developing airships to go around the British Empire, not some local little jaunt. Yeah, I know I'm picking at things, but I guess that's my job. You're low on supply. I don't think we need you out there. Do we need you out there? Battleships? Uh-oh. A war going on in Spain. Well, Spanish. Oh, hold on just a second. Pause. Let's move you back up to here then. Okay. The Spanish Civil War. Let's go back to this view. See the politics of Spain. Ever since the defeat of Napoleon, Spain has been plagued by violence, dissent, and turmoil, but it appears that these tensions have reached a breaking point. That is, the Spanish kingdom has been ripped apart in a three-sided civil war between numerous factions. The loyalists of the Madrid government, the supporters of the pretender Javier, and finally the anarcho-syndicalist party known as the CNTFI. There are already numerous reports of volunteers and equipment being shipped to Spain from all over the world to support one faction or the other. It can be safely said that the fields and mountains of Spain will be the first battlefield of a much wider conflict between the left and the right. Okay. Thought we were already seeing that. Russia. Okay, the Civil War in Spain. The legitimate Spanish kingdom under Alfonso the 13th is under severe threat from anarchists and fanatics, while many are saying that this provides further proof of the terminal weakness of the House of Bourbon. A secure Spain is an important part of our defensive plans. It could be wise to help the government put an end to these threats. Send material and technical experts. Yeah, we'll pay the 50. Political power, I'm not worried about the manpower at this point, but 1,000. Carlos, the Bourbonists. Carlos are just a flavor of Bourbonists. Spain declared war on Kingdom of Spain. The sort of divide between the Carlists and the Kingdom of Spain happens, if I'm not mistaken, though I'm not a big dealing with this, which faction of the Bourbonist family dealing with the French Revolution. Our decision to keep the Deutsches Kaiserreich Abyssinian Eisenbahn running was indeed a short-sighted one that, despite our attempts to revive it, has quickly gone bankrupt. Okay, well, that didn't work out. Okay, extra research funding, good. And the world is going up a bit more into flames. Workers' estates, minus 50 political power. There's a Wilhelm society. Well, let's bail out the Junkers estates. And we will increase our research. Okay, we've got sort of infrastructure. Let's do some tactical improvement. Try to develop some mobile warfare techniques. Now I know we are still building the outdated tanks, but that was primarily because I was hoping to dig my way out of this hole. We still have yet to do so. And we need more. Okay, well. Okay, Abyssinia in Eritrea. So that didn't work out for them. Dispersed in industry. And we're going to wait on that. 50% bonus. We're doing those tactics. We're doing air tactics. Let's see, let's do fleet. Trade interdiction, no. Base strike. This does have some carriers for the airfields. Let's be modern. Let's go with that. I have no idea if that's anywhere near the right choice with what we have. Machine tools, good. I'm going to use that there, but not yet. Okay, we got formation flying, good, so we won't run into each other. Okay, George Michaels dies. The former Rights Chancellor George Michaels died today at the age of 78, succeeding von Berthmann Hauwig as Imperial Chancellor in 1917. The first and until now the only commoner to accede to the post of German Chancellor. He was considered by many as the stooge of the Hindenburg-Ludendorff dictatorship, being forced to resign and replaced by Hindenburg after Ludendorff was dissatisfied with it. Okay, well, not quite sure what that portends for us. The United States looks about ready to lose its capital. This, especially at this time, was a very, very unindustrialized part of America. I'm surprised that they could hold out against more industrialized Northeast. Syndicalism spreads in Burma following a string of poor decisions by the Burmese government, culminating in an order to the Royal Burmese Army to open fire on protesting students and workers. The entire country turned against royalty. The newly founded National Council is now forming a new syndicalist government and is reportedly already considering looking outwards for a strong like-minded allies. Okay, that is probably not good news for us. Construction level 2, good. Give us yeah. Yeah. Let's take it now then. Okay, Sudan tag again. Must be that time of year. I need to read it all over again. Okay, the Mysore state declared war on the Princely Federation. It's down in India. Okay, Madras is now independent and okay. Well, I think it's a bit of an achievement to keep the German Empire at peace so long. Okay, guns from Middle Africa our new colonial administration has. Okay, good. We got 500 rifles. Now, let's start sending some of these guys around. Because we might just blow up into things, and if we have some troops around, it's an interesting move. We might be able to ride through it better, easier.
Zuhören.
Yeah. Well, let's go here.
Alright.
There we go. Send them down that way.
Zuhören.
Force there. I guess.
Angetreten.
There.
Zuhören.
Let's see, we can send you out here to help protect that far-flung colonial empire. Okay,
Alright.
this is all smart stuff to do. Let's put a garrison there. I don't think events can check for
Befehle.
troops in certain locations. I love that as a event editor. If I could, check to see if a certain country's, units are in a particular country, that would be excellent. I've got events that, for photos and whatnot, that like Romanian troops crossing one of these rivers or whatever else. And so if I could see, actually like have an event see that there is a Romanian unit in the region, it could then fire an event or whatever, or like strength. I know from postings that early on when they were trying to develop Hearts of Iron 4, they wanted to like have a check that there was enough German units in this part of Germany and in several states here to like threaten Austria, or enough units along the Czech border in some way to be able to do that. But I don't think they were able to either get the AI, and I don't know whether it was a problem to get the AI to move the units there to be able to trigger the events, or whether it was a situation that they were unable to have the game determine if the units were in the right place or not. I don't know which. Or some other factors. Okay, so we've got the Junkers Estates, which cost us, helps us. Okay, national unity. That's a lot of political power, which is nice. Right. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, revolt, or sorry, I've been reading there. Bertolt Brecht asks for a visa. For some time now, syndicalist sympathizers from the Rhineland have been going abroad to help their comrades in various conflicts around the world. Today, the famous underground writer Bertolt Brecht has announced his intent to join these international divisions. We could let him go, which would most likely inspire quite a few other syndicalists to go abroad with him, or we can confiscate his passport and prohibit him from leaving the country. It would maybe weaken the syndicalist cause, but it would cause tremendous outrage. Okay, we can let him go wild in America. We can hope he freezes in Russia. Here's. We can send him to sweet Spain. Or he can reconsider now. Now, personally, as a practical policy matter, I'm for this kind of thing, because we've got all kinds of crazy people today, and they might as well go out. Now, if somebody goes to fight for ISIS, I would say, after he goes, withdraw his passport, don't let him come back under any circumstances, even if you go fight for ISIS. Different to say than going and joining the French Foreign Legion or something like that. Going to or fighting for the Kurds or some other relatively good guys out in the world somewhere. Right now, what I wonder is, because I presume one of these, well, German volunteers arrive. German volunteers arrive. Doesn't appear that there's German volunteers arrive at Bentonburg. So we're going to do that. Because I don't really want to have whatever units to lose, or win, I should say. A little worried about the United States right now. There should be a certain amount of industry there, but it's no longer been helpful to the U.S. But not. But we'll see. Looks like the Soviets are finally dying, losing a bit, especially this northern frontier. The oil of Ploesti. After Romania defeat in the Weltkrieg, we were promised control over the rich oil fields of Ploesti. I'm not reading very well today, am I? Our spies report, however, that the current dictator, Cordonau, is about to nationalize the oil fields. With the current crisis, though, any open attempt to stop him would spark fears of war and drive away capital, wrecking us financially. What should we do? Bribe the ministers, not for promises. Bribe ministers, not for promises. Arrange an accident for him. Do nothing. I like the bribe ministers. We got enough political power. We'll do that. Rhineland is silent. With many of the worst troublemakers abroad to fight and hopefully die, the Rhineland for many years, the region where the syndicalist unrest was the worst, is finally seeing some peace and quiet. Yes, I don't think if we have a choice we're going to ever let those people back. They can go from one syndicalist faction to another as they win or lose, but we don't need them back if we have that choice. Well, Romania is justifying a war against us. That is an interesting thing. We're still producing there. Good. Excavation level 2. Well, let's unlock signal companies. We still have yet to get any military experience to change any of our current units status. And how are we doing for equipment? Okay, a little better. I think what I'm going to add to the production queue is a marine and a mountain unit. We'll put the marines here. We'll put the mountain where the traditional school is, and face is there along the necessarily our good allies. Okay, and got all the 37. We're rather close to 38. Well, let's at least research anti-tank guns. Paul declares war on the Bataarian commune, whatever that is. Okay. Is this the thing? Bhutan commune? I don't know, Bhutan got awfully bigger there. That's for sure. Oh, it's this one down here. Baharatin. The Chancellor in the radio. Okay, well. Yeah, we'll do this. Looks like a version of the 4-year plan. Okay, and we have political power enough to improve our government. Now, that is a blank thing, okay. This is headed. Okay, well. I'll help research time. What's the power game? I think I have the same effect. Authoritarian, democratic. Okay, well. Or do we want to come down? No, let's do this. Let's get our government sort of in shape here. Okay, the Romanians have nationalized the Ploiești oil fields after Romania's defeat in the Weltkrieg. We were promised control over the rich oil fields of Ploiești. The current dictator Cordonel is taking advantage of the state of our economy, has just nationalized the oil fields with much fanfare, yet didn't dare stop the oil shipments, and also promised to compensate for oil companies. Okay, well. Turkestan Khanate declares war on Olash Orda. Okay. The United Province of Central America have come to us with an offer. They will give us a cheaper price on their exports in return for aid in developing their country. We already have considerable influence in the United Provinces. Doing this will increase it even more to allow our citizens some cheap luxuries in these troubled times. Okay. United Provinces, Central America. Okay. Right there. Okay, well that looks good, because since America right now is in the midst of a 4 or 5-way split, I don't fear they're doing anything particularly upsetting to us, so yes, we will do this. If Britain had been in like a 3-way civil war and Ireland offered us the joining our alliances, then I probably would have taken it. And I don't know if Canada will ever be going to war in this playthrough with the United Kingdom, but It would be helpful to us if they did. Okay, we have gotten some more factories, basically I believe just one more factory. And we are still in the negative for oil. Who do we like that we would want some oil from? Don Bobon Union, maybe? We have some oil coming from here, of course. So yeah, so let's go with that. Hopefully it will both get us oil and help our relations. Help us to really produce more ships. We carry naval bombers. Well, I like these, but I guess we need to reduce that. Okay, so they took out these guys. Well, the Queen, there's no N, Queen, there is an N, but alright, there's an N. Queuing, well, expanding the Qing Empire. German-backed Qing Empire has established control over Shanxi and Gansu, while destroying the other people. While it is still in its infancy, it is good. It is possible that the ambitious Pu Yi is becoming too powerful and needs to be restrained. Command of the third limited conquered territory. It is good to have a stronger buffer between us and Japan's interest. This may be a bad thing to do, but because like it says, we still have the Japanese buffer here. Who is this? Obligation cities, that's right. Obligation cities there. Nepal was annexed, okay. Nepali Socialist Republic. We are. A bit of show of force by putting some units out here will help. I know it's pathetically little, but still, they know we have a big army at home. But they think it's bigger than it is. We don't even have a Panzer division. Let's deploy the one. Oh, it just, yeah, let's deploy this guy. Iron declared war on Bulgaria. Okay, well, I think we're going to end the episode here. I want to thank everyone for watching. We'll see what we do about aiding our ally Bulgaria next episode. And of course I want to thank you, if you would, to like the videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. Just a friendly reminder. And of course, I really love hearing from you, so please post questions, comments, suggestions, ideas, corrections, whatever. please do so. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.